Welcome back everyone, SV Math Teach here on the second video regarding slope. This one is going to be slope calculated from two ordered pairs. So let's begin. Now, slope can be calculated a couple different ways, and in the last video I calculated slope using rise and run. This time I'm going to be calculating slope based on an equation or a formula that allows you to compare two different values, two different ordered pairs specifically, using a simple formula. And if you just put the numbers in the right place, do some subtraction, and then maybe simplify a fraction at the end, you will have your slope. So let's look at a few examples. The first one is to calculate the slope of the line through 3, 2, and 5, 6. So if you're trying to visualize this, right, 1, 2, 3, 2, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we have a line that looks approximately like this really messy one. So a few things that I know. I think the slope is going to be positive. It's going to be rather steep, but let's go ahead and calculate the actual number. And we're going to do that by using this equation right here, right? Where the slope is my y's subtracted and my x's subtracted. So all we really need to do in a problem is identify which things are your x's. Those are your first values in any ordered pair. And what are your y's? Those are the second values in any ordered pair. And since 3, 2 are your first x and y's, and 5, 6 are your second x and y's, we now have your x's and y's for all of the different pieces required in your equation. So here we go. Slope is, so on the top of a fraction, you take the second y, subtract the first y, and then you make your fraction bar. On the bottom, you take your second x, and you subtract your first x. And then you simply simplify that, right? 6 minus 2 is 4. 5 minus 3 is 2. So my slope is 2. Done. That's really all there is to it. Now, I want to show you a couple other examples just to make sure you don't get thrown off by this basic skill. This is just a skill. This is just mastering a formula. We would say this y sub 2 minus y sub 1 sub S-U-B, sub, like subscript. And x sub 2 minus x sub 1. It's also important noting that the truth is, as long as you identify your x's and y's correctly, if you decided for some reason you were in backwards world and you wanted to make this one the first one and this one the second one, that doesn't really make any difference, because if somebody rewrites the problem and just moves these two things around, it doesn't change the drawing, it doesn't change the question, it doesn't change anything. It also won't change your answer. So let's go ahead and begin. Take the second y. In this one, the second y appears to be the 2. And subtract the first y, which is the 6. Subtract the second x and the first x. And now just do your subtraction. 2 minus 6 is negative 4. Negative 10 minus 5 is negative 15. I have a pair of negatives, so they cancel out. And I have 4/15. Now you can make 4/15 into a decimal, but 4/15 is a really nice, neat fraction. I think we just leave that as 4/15 and you're done. Now one more example. Calculate the slope of the line through these 2 points one more time. Slope is y sub 2 minus y sub 1 over x sub 2 minus x sub 1. This is your first x and first y, second x and second y. So slope is the y sub 2 minus y sub 1. Notice how I have a minus sign and then a negative for the negative 5. That's important. On the bottom, we have x sub 2 minus x sub 1. So 7 minus negative 5, we add the opposite, we get 12. 6 minus 6 is 0, and we can't divide by 0. So this is going to be one of the two special cases. We're going to go ahead and say this has no slope, or we might use the word undefined. And that's that, right? So sometimes you're going to have things that have no slope, or you're going to have them as being undefined. And that's it. So keep that formula in mind. That formula is very straightforward. It's up here in the upper right-hand corner, highlighted in orange. Good luck calculating slope between points.